Hey everyone, welcome to part 60 of my Pokemon game series in Unity. So in this video, we look at how to use Pokeball items from inventory. So if I select a Pokeball item from the inventory, we'll use it and try to catch the wild Pokemon. Alright, so let's look at how to implement this. Special thanks to all my Patreons for making this series possible. By becoming a Patreon, you can support me and get access to the complete project files of the series. The project files also contain some advanced features that are not covered on YouTube. So let's start the video. So right now we have Pokeball items in our inventory. So when the user selects a Pokeball item, we should throw that Pokeball and try to capture the Pokemon. Alright, so let's look at how to implement that. So if you go to the battle system script, we already have a function for throwing the Pokeball. So this was implemented in part 34. So we just have to call this function when a Pokeball is selected from the inventory. But right now, when an item is selected, we are opening the party screen, right? That is because for most of the items, we have to select a Pokemon on which the item should be used. But in the case of Pokeball, we shouldn't do that. Instead, we should directly use the Pokeball. So we have to change the item selection logic. So what I'll do is I'll create a new function called item selected. And in this function, if the selected item is a Pokeball, then we'll use the item directly. And otherwise, we'll open the party screen to select the Pokemon as usual. So how can we check if the selected item is actually a Pokeball? We can actually do that by checking the currently selected category, right? So if the selected category is equal to 1, that means the current category is Pokeball. So in the inventory, you can see that the index of the Pokeball category is 1. So here, this will check if the currently selected category is Pokeball. Alright. But to keep this clean, I'll use an enum instead of hard coding an integer like this. So let's create an enum in the inventory class. I'll actually create it outside the class. Alright. So I'll call this item category. And what are the item categories that we have? We have items, Pokeballs, and teams. Right. So make sure to write this in the same order in which you have it in the list. Okay. So the order of this and this should be same. Okay. So now in the if condition, let's use that enum instead. So I'll check if the selected category is equal to item category dot Pokeballs. And we have to convert this enum into an int since the selected category is an int. So this will check if the selected category is Pokeball. And if that's the case, then we can use the item directly, right? So I'll call start coroutine and start the use item coroutine. Otherwise, if the item is something other than Pokeball, then we can call the open party string as usual. Okay. So now when an item is selected, we'll call the item selected function instead of simply opening the party string. So now when a Pokeball is selected, we will directly use it instead of opening the party string. So next, we should call the throw Pokeball function when a Pokeball is used. Alright, so can we call that from the use function just like we do for all the other items? Can we do that? No, we can't do that. The reason is because unlike the other items, the Pokeball is an item that is used in the battle, so we have to close the inventory UI and return to the battle state before we use the Pokeball, right? So we can't call the throw Pokeball function from here. So what can we do? So when an item is used, we are invoking an action called onItemUsed, right? So if you look at the battle system, let me just go to handle update. So here you can see this is the action that will be called when an item is used. So in this action, right now we're just closing the inventory UI and calling the run turns to continue the battle. But in the case of Pokeballs, we have to add an extra step. So if it's a Pokeball, then we have to call the throw Pokeball function. So how can we know if the used item is actually a Pokeball? For that, we'll need to add the reference of the used item to this action. Alright, so in the inventory UI, in the onItemUsed action, I'll add the item base as the parameter. So in this, we can pass the reference of the item that's used. So let me also add the parameter over here. And finally, when we invoke the action, we just have to pass the used item. Alright, so now in the battle system, we can add a parameter for the used item in the action that we are passing. So let's also add the parameter over here. So now all the errors are gone and we have a reference to the used item in the onItemUsed action. So next we can check if the used item is a Pokeball, and if so, we can call the throw Pokeball function. So how can we check if the used item is a Pokeball? The parameter that we are getting in this function is of type item base, but we need to verify if it's a Pokeball item, right? It can also be other types of items like recovery items or TMs or whatever. So how can we check if this item base instance is actually a Pokeball? So we can do that by using the is keyword. So I can check if used item is a Pokeball item. Okay, this is how we can verify it's a Pokeball item. And if it's a Pokeball item, then we can call the throw Pokeball function, right? But this function is actually a coroutine, and when executing it, we want to wait until it's complete, right? Only after that we should call run turns and continue the battle. So since we want to wait for that, I'll put this whole code inside another coroutine. So let me just cut this and I'll create another coroutine called onItemUsed. Alright, I'll just put it above my throw Pokeball function and I'll call it onItemUsed. And this will take a reference to the used item. Okay, so now let's paste the code to use the item here. And now we can call the throw Pokeball function from here, and we can use the yield return statement to wait until it's complete. Alright, so let me call this coroutine from this action. Alright, and I'll just pass the used item to it. So now we will throw the Pokeball if the used item is actually a Pokeball item. But if you look at the throw Pokeball function, we are always throwing a normal Pokeball, right? But we can have different types of Pokeball items like Great Ball or Ultra Ball, etc. So we have to throw the Pokeball that is currently selected from the inventory. So for that, I'll take the Pokeball item as a parameter in this function. All right. And here, instead of saying the player used Pokeball, I'll use the name of the Pokeball. So I can get that from Pokeball item dot name. And if you want to capitalize it, you can simply use to upper function. So that'll just capitalize the name. So next, while creating the Pokeball prefab, we have to use the sprite of the currently selected Pokeball. So this is our sprite renderer, and here I'll say Pokeball dot sprite equals Pokeball item dot icon. All right. So here I'm using the icon of the item for the sprite, but if you want, you can use separate images for the icon and sprite. So now we'll use the name and sprite of selected Pokeball item. So when calling this function, let's pass the Pokeball item. So we can pass the used item, but used item is an instance of item base, right? Even though we know it's a Pokeball item, it still is an instance of item base. So we have to convert it into a Pokeball item. And we can do it like this. All right. So let's go to Unity and test if all this is working. So if I start a battle and from the inventory, if I select a Pokeball, then we should throw that Pokeball, right? So let's try it. Okay, we have this dialog here. So we should not display this dialog in the case of Pokeball items. But let's just continue and see if this is working. So yeah, it's working properly. We used the Pokeball item that was selected from the inventory. But right now, all the Pokeballs are same apart from its name and icon. So different Pokeballs should have different catch rate, right? So let's implement that next. So in the Pokeball item class, we can add a float variable called catch rate modifier. And let me just set it to 1 by default. And let me also create a property to expose it. So let's go ahead and assign these values in our Pokeball items. So for Pokeball, the catch rate will be 1, and for the Great Ball, it will be 1.5. Okay, so basically, higher the catch rate, higher the chance of catching the Pokemon. So next, let's use this catch rate when we are trying to catch the Pokemon. So in battle system, from the throw ball function, we are calling this function called try to catch Pokemon. And this is where we do the calculation to check if the Pokemon will be caught or not. So you can watch part 34 again if you don't remember how this calculation was done. So I'm just going to multiply the catch rate modifier of the Pokeball into this calculation. So first we need a reference to the Pokeball that is used. So let me add that as a parameter. And here I'll also multiply the catch rate modifier of the Pokeball. All right. So we have an error here. That's because we have to pass the Pokeball item to the try to catch Pokemon function. So let me do that. All right. So now we should take the catch rate of the Pokeball to consideration. So before we test, let me also fix another bug. So if the used item is Pokeball, then we don't want to show this item use dialog that we show for other items, right? So here I'll check if the used item is actually Pokeball. Actually, we have to check if the used item is not Pokeball. So I'll just add a not statement over here, and we'll only show the dialog if it's not a Pokeball. Okay. So now let's go ahead and test this. So let me start a battle and try using the Pokeballs. So first I'll use the normal Pokeball. All right. So that's working fine. Okay. So next I'll try using the Great Ball. All right. So yeah, everything is working fine, but we'll have to reduce the HP of the Bulbasaur to capture it because Bulbasaur is a Pokemon that's hard to catch. Okay, so let's try catching the Bulbasaur now. All right, it was caught. Awesome. So now we can use the Pokeballs by selecting the Pokeball items from the inventory. So before we stop the video, there is one more thing that I want to do. So right now, we'll be able to use the Pokeball items even if we are not in a battle. Okay, so from here, if I choose a Pokeball item, we'll use it and its count will go down even though nothing is happening. So we should prevent that. So to prevent that, what we can do is in the Pokeball item, when a Pokeball is used, we can check if the current game state is actually battle. All right. So if it's battle, then we'll return true, and otherwise we'll return false. Okay. So let me check if the current state is battle. So I'll say game controller dot instance dot state. Okay. Looks like we haven't exposed the game state until now. So let's create a property to expose the game state. All right. I'll create a property over here. So now let's check the game state from here. I'll check if the game state is equal to battle. And if that's the case, I'll return true. And otherwise, I'll just return false. Okay. So let's go ahead and test this. So now if we try to use the Pokeball when we are not in a battle, then you won't be able to use it. Okay. So yeah, that's working fine. All right. So we are done with the implementation of Pokeball items. So I'll stop the video here. If you think this videos are helpful, please leave a like and consider subscribing to my channel. That'll really help me out. So I'll see you in the next video.